Okay, I'm on a new program here. Days have gone by. I didn't get the front of this to seal up, and it turned into a nightmare. This is the worst I've ever had. So I advise take no shortcuts on the front of these motors. It can go bad like it did on me. So I've got it back down again. This is the third time. And just a small leak out of here, out of one of these corners, can make a hell of a mess. Gets down the fan, goes down, gets everything underneath. It's not good. So I cleaned it all up real nice, paying special attention to these gaskets that crumble up in the ends here, get used up. And I've gone inside with a light, gone way back inside here, looked, pulled out the old chunk of cork and whatnot, and cleaned it up as best as I could. I'm going to get spray some sealer in there. So I've cleaned everything up real good, and I'm getting everything ready to go with the new setup, the two-piece timing cover. So I'll be putting this in like so. This is thicker and it's nice and flat, and plus I can get in here and put this thing in and get in there and glue it in a little nicer and see what I'm doing. So, and of course I've taken these corners here and cut them, rounded them off with a file and smoothed them out there to make it a little easier for it to stick in there. I didn't want to do this, but I figured this is the only way I was ever going to get this thing to seal. I took the old timing cover off. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be doing so good, so it's going to get retired. Okay, I've done a test fit here. I put this in dry with the rubber seal on it on the other side to see if I can get it to slide in all across the pan here and into the corners, and those tabs to slide into the corners between the oil pan front corner here and the block. So I managed to get it in by carefully prying it in. I take and use a Phillips, pry down gently like this to get the thing seated down, get it over the pins. I found I had to trim these tabs off a little bit more because I was fighting the edge of the oil pan. We don't want to be fighting that. We're trying to get this together with the seal in. See, here comes the seal out of here, and it kind of slips right out of the gap right there. So both sides I had them slid right in there real nice, so nothing gets gumbled up there. So I intend to put it back together that same way, only with some sealer in there, and I hope that that will seal this thing up. And if it does, I'm going to recommend this two-piece unit. This is a Summit unit. It won't break the bank, and if it stops a leak, or these leaks, well, this leak will kill you. It'll cover the underside of your car if it leaks just a little tiny bit, just the smallest leak. Okay, I've got the plate up in here. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of this right stuff right up here in this corner just to fill in this gap. This is where the old oil gasket would have been, but I got it all slid in there. I had to work at it, and I got both tabs in there real nice, got the whole seal in, held it down with a couple bolts, a couple more bolts up here holding this whole plate on here. I've got copper coat squirted in here, and then I put this on the outside. I hope this works like this. I really want this to seal, so I'm going to let this set up overnight and then glue this on. This is the other trouble spot some guys on the forums have been having, sealing right across here because there's no bolts to hold the timing cover down here in this area. So we're going to try to seal that real good tomorrow. Alright, I've gone ahead and sprayed copper coat on the cover, and then I've got the right stuff down here on this lower part, which has been a problem. I wanted something thicker down there. And then I'm going to oil the other side of the gasket here and then put it on. Okay, we have installed the harmonic balancer, and for those of you who often wonder if you've got it on there good enough, if you've painted the balancer first, you'll be able to look inside and see where the paint line ends, and you know that you have it on all the way. For those who get worried about lining up pulleys and things like that. Okay, now we've gone ahead and pulled it on with our bolt. I know they say not to do that, but it works okay with this one. There have been some big blocks that I've built that the interference fit was so tight on them things that they're very difficult. And I've actually had the machinist reduce that interference fit so that they would go on easier in the past. So we have it all glued in there. I noticed how the right stuff bulged out when I torqued everything down. I think it's sealed up good, and we're going to try it right now and see.
Twice as hard as the first time.
Come on, flashlight, work for me. Now it's kind of buried in sealer from previous attempts. Yeah, I know everything else isn't hooked up on the engine, but it can run this way for a few minutes. Certainly is looking like we have it this time. Well, so there you go. If there's any tips that are useful, that's good. Hit the like button, or you can hit the subscribe button. It helps if you do.